You know, when I was younger, I loved winter. Loved to ski, loved to play hockey outside. But that was then. Now I'm older, much older, and I just don't get it. I mean, on a winter shoot like this, it takes me about an hour in the morning to put all this stuff on. I'm exhausted before I go out, and then I got to do it all over again at the end of the day. And I blame our ancestors for this. I mean, they come over here. I guess they didn't notice the black flies in the summer and the frozen lakes in the winter. Did they never hear of California dreaming? Well, the good thing about whiners like me, we've got warm clothing to put on, unlike our vehicles. So with that in mind, let's join our man in the Quaker State Garage, Bill Gardner.
Hey Brad, we just came off the coldest night so far this winter, and it's not bad out here right now. It's calm, no wind, but it's still darn cold. Now what happens to your car or truck when you come out on that really cold morning? You know, you're just kind of cringing and holding your breath, hoping that that thing's gonna start. Sometimes you close your eyes when you turn that key and just hope she's gonna go. You know, well, let's start off talking about the battery, for example. What happens to that battery on a really cold morning? Well, think about these new cars now. I mean, you hit the key fob to unlock the doors. Many new cars now turn the headlights on before you've even got in the car, so they're pulling battery power with the headlight system right there. You open the door, the interior lights come on, you've got parasitic drains off the battery for the engine management system, body control modules, etc., all drawing a little bit of power from that battery. But you know what? You've got to make sure that you've got the right lubricants in these vehicles. Make sure you've got the right grade of motor oil. Does your car call for 530? Maybe it calls for 5W20, or a synthetic motor oil is even better if you're in sub-zero temperatures. Make sure you've got the right motor oil in there, and make sure it hasn't been in the crankcase for an extended period of time. If you've got oil in that engine that was in there last summer, it's thickened. It's thickened up just way too much to give you the proper protection that you need on a cold start. And you will hear many engines when you cold start them a morning like this morning, you get 3 or 4 or 5 seconds of lifter noise out of that engine, or you hear some mechanical noise out of that engine, and it goes quiet a couple of seconds later. That's telling you that your boundary lubrication was not good. In other words, the oil is not getting to all the extremities of the engine. Oil pressure is not reaching there quick enough to keep it quiet. It's telling you that, so you want to think about changing that oil, upgrading to a synthetic, and changing it on a regular basis. Now, the best and simplest way to warm up an engine on a really cold morning is with an engine block heater, and you'd be surprised how many vehicles intended for sale in Canada come factory equipped with a block heater, and the owners of the vehicles in many cases don't even know it. Now, if you live in Western Canada, you know all about block heaters, because in many cases you're not going to get the car going without them. Simple little element like this, the block heater element goes into the engine block down there, and that cord stretches from the engine block right up to the grill here. You plug it into 110. Don't overdo it. You only need a few hours to warm that thing up. I used mine this morning on the truck for about an hour and a half, and it fired up really fast, and the engine sounded perfect, and this thing hadn't ran in weeks, so it just shows you how well they work. And it's a very inexpensive little item. If you don't already have one, you can have a mechanic retrofit it. You know what? I picked up a block heater at the auto parts store today for this shoot. Interesting thing, I looked on the packaging. It's made in Canada. There's actually an auto part that's still made here in Canada, not China. Surprise, surprise. And oh yeah, guess where it's made? Winnipeg, Manitoba, the block heater capital of Canada. Till next week, I'm Bill Gardner for Motoring 2010.
So here's the question. Where were you 32 years ago? I know some of you weren't even a glint in your father's eye. As for me, well, I was in diapers, but found time to get Motoring TV off the ground. And today I like to think we've got one of the best automotive video libraries in the world. If you agree, please give us the thumbs up and also subscribe. We'd really appreciate it.